Welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you coming back. Today is round 2 of Vlogmas, and I want to talk about gifts. There are so many gifts around Christmas time. And I know that yesterday we made our list about who we're going to give to and kind of what our budget was. Now, maybe you have a bigger budget than I had, or maybe you're going to get a lot of small things. Maybe that's what you're thinking in your mind. So we're going to talk about different kind of methods of gift giving. Now, gift giving is extremely personal. It should come from the heart, and you should really think about it when you're trying to prepare gifts. There are gifts for our children, and there are gifts for other people. First, I'm going to cover gifts to children. One year, I got my children, sorry, that's my dog. One year I got my children a lot of gifts. I'm not even kidding, it probably took up 30% of my living room. And there were just so many, like just stacked everywhere. And it was a lot of fun for a few minutes while the kids opened all of those gifts. And we had a lot of fun playing with them, and I enjoyed wrapping them. And we even enjoyed tearing up the paper and then throwing away the paper and all of that kind of a thing. But as the weeks went on, I began to see that these toys didn't really fit in our house. So this year, instead of going really crazy and just piling on the gifts, maybe you'll want to consider making sure the gifts are very thoughtful and very planned, so that when you do bring them into your house, they'll be worth the time that you're going to spend taking care of them. Even if there's just a small toy like a football or something, you're going to have to pick that up. Your kids are inevitably going to leave it somewhere, and you're going to have to remind them to come pick that up and go put it away or something like that, you know? And so you're going to want to think about that. There's a few methods that people use during Christmas, especially if they're Christians. The first method that I ever heard of was the wise men method, and that was 3 gifts per child. And one was to represent the frankincense, one for the myrrh, and one for the gold, because the wise men brought 3 gifts for Jesus. Another method was to just give 1 gift, because we have one Savior who came to the world for us, and we're celebrating his birth. So they do 1 gift. I know a few other people, and they do 5 gifts. They'll do something you want, something you need, something to read, something to wear, and something fun. And that makes a total of 5 gifts. But I've got 3 kids. That means I'll have 15 gifts. That can really start to build up. I know some people that'll do 24 books, and they'll read like small books when they have small kids, and they'll read 1 book every night for 24 nights. And I got to thinking, my kids are only, a year apart, and there's 3 of them. So if we did that, that would be a lot of books. It'd be much more than I really want to store in my house. So it's kind of a very personal thing that you're going to want to figure out. Then we have gifts that we give to other people. Again, you'll have to determine, do you want to give them more than 1 gift, or do you just want to give them 1? I like to really think about the person and their personality. And I also like to think about whether or not they really cherish something that is handmade. I know a lot of people have really gotten into the handmade things, and it does show that you care a lot if you handmake something, because it takes a lot of time, not just money, but time, to invest in that gift that's handmade. And a lot of people would rather have something that is handmade that represents the time that you thought about them than the money that you spent on them. I know as Americans, we buy a lot of stuff. In fact, I just hauled the whole back end of my SUV to the Goodwill today for donations, and I'll probably do it again here in the next few weeks to another donation center that we have in town. And that just represents so much stuff that we've bought. So I really think we should try to be a little more mindful of the gifts we're giving. A lot of people like to give experiences, memories. How many times has your kid opened a big, huge present and then it's not even there next year, or they play with the box more than they play with the gift, you know? I know that I did that as a kid several times. In fact, I'm sure that my son and I were just talking about one Christmas where I didn't buy them anything. They got two things. One was really kind of part of their breakfast that day. A lady had given us coffee cups with a Swiss Miss packet and some marshmallows to go on top. And that was kind of part of their breakfast for the morning. And another woman had a yard sale, and she drove her car over to where I was at, and she was like, hey, I've got all this stuff in my trunk, and I didn't sell it at the yard sale, and I'm going to take it over to the Goodwill, and if you'd like to have anything, you can. So I went through it, and I picked one thing for each one of my kids. And you know that neither one of us right now can even remember what that was. So a lot of people are doing experiences. I know in town they have the escape room, and a family of 4 can go, and you get tickets to that, and you try to get out of the escape room. There's a zoo around here. We could go to the zoo. There's a couple of amusement parks and different things like that. Even just if I wanted to take my daughter out and get her nails done or something like that, would be an experience and a memory that we could make together. So that's one way that you could think about maybe giving without getting clutter. Another thing people do is donate. Some people will donate in someone else's name. I'm a big believer in not letting the one hand know what the other hand is doing, which is why it is a little odd to talk about giving. But as a Christian, I want to give to something that is going to help spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, because that's the whole reason for this season, is the fact that Jesus came down to earth and took on the form of a man so that he could live the perfect life and be that perfect sacrifice for us. So those are a few ideas on gift giving and how many gifts you should give to your children or to your significant other or your spouse or whatever other friends or people are on your list. And I hope that helps you as you consider what you're going to give. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. And if you do like it, please subscribe. I really appreciate every subscriber. If you have any ideas that I haven't covered or might have missed or anything like that, drop them in the comments below. I'd really like to know what you plan to give and how you plan to give this year. Thanks. Bye.